Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing today? I hope you're doing well. This is Dr. Nicole Edwards, board certified family medicine physician. I am the CEO and founder of Abundant Life Concierge Medicine, Abundantly Natural, Abundant CMP, and I am the host of Talk with the Doc. Thank you so much for joining me today for Talk with the Doc. Please feel free to like, share, and follow this YouTube channel as well as all of my social media pages, Dr. Nicole DO.com. That's DrNicoledo.com. All right, thank you so much for joining me today. We are going to be discussing multiple sclerosis and how it affects the lives of people that have the condition. This is going to be a very special talk for me today because, if some of you don't know, I personally have multiple sclerosis. I was diagnosed officially back in 2009, though I've had symptoms since 1997. And I want to talk to you guys today from my heart about how I manage with the disease, how I deal and live with the disease every day, and how it affects me as a busy doctor, a busy wife, mom, caregiver for others, and what you can do if you have a chronic medical condition and you also have and you have to be a caregiver. All right, give me 1 second. I'm gonna just share my video, which I hope you'll do the same. Please, again, we are live on YouTube every Sunday for Talk with the Doc at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So feel free to follow the page so that you can get updates on when I go live. Now, I'm going to let you know that I'm going to be going live at different times throughout the week because this week is the National MS Foundation, it's National MS Awareness Week. Okay, so between March 13th and March 19th, it is National MS Awareness Week. You can go to websites such as the MS Foundation or MS Society, and you can get more information on multiple sclerosis. But I am personally going to be going live multiple times throughout the week, giving you a little bit more insight on what it's like to live with my condition. All right, so today on Talk with the Doc, please go ahead and share this video. Go ahead, grab your friends, because I'm going to give you a little bit of insight onto what is MS. I do want to start with letting you guys know that today's Talk with the Doc show is being sponsored by Abundantly Natural. That is Dr. Nicole, my all natural vitamin and supplement line that gives you access to all the vitamins and supplements to help keep you whole person healthy, mind, body, spirit, and finances. Because March is Brain Awareness Month, we're going to be discussing all kinds of conditions and things going on with the brain. I do want to offer you guys a discount for my supplement called Brain Basics. Brain Basics helps with things like mental clarity. It helps with things like your memory. It helps with improving the blood supply and the blood flow to the brain so that you can have decreased inflammation and so that you can have better brain function. All right, so Brain Basics, it has things in it like all the B vitamins, B12, B6, B4. It also has L-theanine, all right, and L-theanine helps with brain function in general, all right? And so by taking this in supplement daily, it helps to improve your mental clarity and helps to just get rid of that, what I call tired mommy brain. Anybody have that out there? I'm sure you do. Also, please, if you're watching me live, please make sure that you hit, put some comments in so that I can acknowledge you as well. All right. So again, during the month of March, if you use the coupon code, I got to remember what the coupon code is. Brain Talk, BRAINTALK. All right, so Brain Talk, you can get a discount on any supplements that have to do with inflammation or with the brain. All right, so like the Brain Basics, you would get a discount on that by using the coupon code Brain Talk. All right, so today, again, we are going to be talking about MS and how it affects me personally and what you can do if you are a busy caregiver, parent, wife, mom, doctor, child. All right, because sometimes as adult children, we're taking care of our adult parents as well. So if you can better improve your life so that you jump in and give you a little bit of information about multiple sclerosis. What is multiple sclerosis? This is an autoimmune. We all know that our immune system is out there trying to help us fight off against outside bacteria, viruses, and toxins that that get into our body and try to attack our body. All right, so our immune system is made to be like the protector of our bodies. The problem with an autoimmune disorder is that your own body and your own immune system is attacking its own tissues, all right? Its own tissues. And even though your own body is not foreign, your body is attacking itself like it is a foreign invader, okay? So there are multiple autoimmune disorders, lupus, rheumatoid arthritis, all kinds of different ones, but we're going to be focusing on multiple sclerosis. So multiple sclerosis is where the body's immune system is actually fighting against something called myelin. Myelin is the protective sheath around your nerves, all right? I'm going to show you guys just a cord here, all right? So you see this cord? This cord has a nice protective coating on it, right? Think of that as myelin. So if you think of your brain and your nerves as conductors of electricity and electrical impulses, like the cords that are inside of this cord here, that is what your brain is like. To protect those electrical impulses from just flying all over willy-nilly, what the myelin does is it coats it so that the impulses stay where they're supposed to stay and it can get to the next nerve faster, all right? With multiple sclerosis, however, the myelin is actually eroded or degenerated. I have a picture of that I'm going to show you about what happens when the cord is frayed, all right? So when the cord is frayed, it actually, those electrical impulses are just kind of flying around all over the place, okay? Now, multiple sclerosis can affect multiple areas such as, mainly it affects any place where you have nerves, okay? Because your brain and spinal cords control all of your body, you can see symptoms of multiple sclerosis all over your body, all right? To your eyes, it can cause something called optic neuritis, where you either have blurred vision or you can't see as well, okay? It also can cause symptoms to your fingertips, all right, or to your toes, so you can get numbness and tingling. It can cause problems with your muscles where you can actually get, when those things misfire, you can get spasms in your muscles, you can get a jerking of your muscles, you can get an inability to control your muscles correctly, all right? It can affect your bladder to where if your bladder is not getting the messages that it's supposed to get, then your bladder can either not work when you need it to work, or sometimes it can overwork where you don't need it to work because, again, those impulses are just firing off. So therefore, your bladder, some people can have bladder incontinence, which is where you wet yourself, or you can have where you're not able to use the bathroom. So you can have hesitation to where you're trying to get yourself to go to the bathroom, but you can't go, all right? It can also affect your gut or your the nerves that go to your stomach. Therefore, it can cause things like constipation, and it can cause decreased digestion of your food. And so you can feel fuller longer, or you can have abdominal pain sometimes because of these because of the incorrect impulses going to your stomach, all right? So like I said, multiple sclerosis can affect you all over, all right? So let me tell you a little bit more about how multiple sclerosis has affected me personally. A little bit about my story. I first was diagnosed, I first had symptoms of multiple sclerosis back in 1997. I was in college. I was, college is stressful, okay? I was going through some stress. I was actually in a calculus test and my toes went to sleep. Tingling, numbness, and it felt like it was like moving up my leg. And so I was like kind of tapping my foot, trying to get my foot to wake up, and I couldn't figure out what was going on. So after the test, I went on to the emergency room. They looked for blood clots, they looked for any other problems that it could be causing, and they couldn't find anything that was wrong. They even kind of accused me of drug seeking. The thing was, I wasn't even in pain. I didn't want it to go away. I just wanted to know what was going on. I can tell you guys honestly and from the heart that one of the most frustrating things about having a condition like multiple sclerosis, a chronic condition, is to not be listened to, all right? So when you feel like your medical providers or the medical staff are not listening to you, listen, I get it, guys. I've been there, all right? I've been there. And so I understand that firsthand. When it didn't go away, though, I kept going back and I kept going back. And eventually they couldn't figure out what was wrong. All right. So years later, I had another flare up again at a time that I was stressed, where the my eyes would cross. When I would try to look to the right, my right eye wouldn't move, but my left eye would. So my eyes would cross. So I actually had paralysis to one of the muscles in my eye. They couldn't figure out what was the cause of that. All right. I would get things like chronic headaches and migraine headaches. And what I found was whenever I would get stressed out, like with a test or with something going on big time in my life, that was when I would have the most symptoms. When I was actually finally diagnosed with MS, well, that was even later on. I was studying for my boards to go into medical school, and I felt again, my toes went to sleep. This time it traveled all the way up my entire body, and I even ended up forfeiting my test, going to the hospital because I was scared. I didn't know what was going on. They did an MRI on my brain, and that's when they saw the lesions on my brain. All right. So MS is diagnosed when you have the symptoms. You talk with your doctor about the symptoms. They do an MRI and they see these lesions on your brain. All right. These lesions pick up on certain types of MRIs. So an MRI has to be done. Here's the thing I'm going to tell you guys about. Sometimes when you go to the emergency room, or not sometimes, when you go to the emergency room, a lot of times they're not going to do an MRI. Not because they don't believe you and not because they can't. It's because most of the times when you go to the emergency room, it is to rule out things that can cause end of life. So they're ruling out things like bleeds on the brain or strokes. Those are oftentimes done with the CAT scan. And the thing about a CAT scan is a CAT scan cannot see multiple sclerosis. All right. So if you are having symptoms of tingling, weakness, changes in your vision, things like that. Yes, you do need to go to the emergency room, but sometimes they won't do an MRI right there. Sometimes they'll do a CAT scan, make sure you're not having a bleed on the brain, make sure you're not having a stroke, and then they'll send you to see your doctor or to send you to see a neurologist to get further testing. The only time that they might do an MRI is if you're actually having blindness or symptoms in your eyes, because that is called a medical emergency. That has to be addressed right away. All right. So again, I had the MRI and it did show multiple lesions on my brain. All right. At that time, the doctor told me, well, it might be MS. And I was like, okay, might be. What is that? He also said it could be an infection. It could be caused by some other things as well. So we were going to give it some time. Let's see how it develops over time. After 3 months, I went back and had a repeat MRI and the lesions were gone. All right. Let me tell you guys this. Multiple sclerosis has multiple forms. All right. One of the forms is called relapsing remitting multiple sclerosis. That's what I have. With that type, the symptoms come and then they go. All right. Even the lesions can come and then they can look like they're gone. And that's what happened to me. So it looked like the lesions were gone and I thought I didn't have MS, but it kept happening over and over and over again. The other types of multiple sclerosis are progressive multiple sclerosis. There's progressive secondary multiple sclerosis. So there are 4 different types of multiple sclerosis. All right. This is all leading to a story, y'all. I also wanted to let you know that when I finally did get diagnosed, it was after multiple times of having symptoms. They finally did the MRI again. It showed worsening lesions, and it also showed that I had a lumbar puncture, which is where they go in through your spine. They take a little bit of your fluid, and it showed something called oligoclonal bands. These are bands that are only found in patients with multiple sclerosis. So then that is when it was diagnosed. That was when I was officially diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. And that was in, I believe that was in December, maybe November or December of 2009. So I personally have been living with multiple sclerosis probably as far back as 1997, but it was officially diagnosed in 2009. Because multiple sclerosis is a progressive or can be a progressive condition or a progressive disease, it is very important that when you have symptoms that you go and you get seen immediately. All right. Whether that's to your doctor, your primary care physician, to a neurologist, to the ER, somewhere, but you need to be seen when you start having symptoms because you want to make sure that it's not MS. The treatment for MS, there are different types of treatments, okay? But the main treatment for them is what's called a disease-modifying drug. With the disease-modifying drug, right now we don't have a cure for MS, all right? So when you go to places like the MS Walks and the MS Foundations, those are places that are trying to raise money, not only for the treatment that we do have, but also for further testing so that we can find a cure for MS.